Hi folks, welcome to the lesson. We're looking at indices, which are powers, and we're looking at negative powers. But we're starting the lesson with the power 0, so let's crack on and get this job done. Anything to the power of 0 equals 1, it tells us. Let's see why. Well, when dividing a to the power of m divided by a to the power of m, we subtract the powers, because that's one of the rules. Now that left-hand side, a to the power of m divided by itself, well, anything divided by itself is 1, and that right-hand side gives us a to the power of 0. So consequently, we have a to the power of 0 equals 1. And because a is just a general term, it's not a specific number, we're saying therefore that anything to the power of 0 equals 1. Now, let's look at what negative powers must mean. A cubed divided by a to the power of 7, if we were to write that out as a sum, that would be a cubed, and we're dividing by a to the power of 7, and that's what a to the power of 7 would look like. And we can cancel bits of the numerator and the denominator. So these a's cancel out. And the a's in the numerator have all disappeared, leaving 1, but in the denominator, we've still got 4 left. And therefore, our answer is 1 divided by a to the power of 4. However, using the division rule, if you like, when we are dividing, we subtract the powers. Look here, the base numbers are the same. We're dividing, so we subtract the powers. So our expression is a to the negative 4. Consequently, the two things must be equal to each other. 1 divided by a to the power of 4 equals a to the negative 4. Let's look at this with a second example. First of all, a squared is that. A to the power of 5 is a string of 5 a's. Some of those a's will cancel down, but not all of them. We're left with 1 in the numerator, and in the denominator we still got 3 a's left, or a cubed. Consequently, that expression must be 1 divided by a cubed. However, when the base numbers are the same, we subtract the powers, and therefore we get a to the negative 3. So the two expressions must be the same. 1 divided by a cubed is a to the power of negative 3. So what do we have? 1 over a to the 4 equals a to the negative 4. 1 over a cubed equals a to the negative 3. And therefore, generally, a to a negative power is 1 divided by a to the positive power. A to the negative m means 1 divided by a to the power of m. Note, the negative power does not make something negative. The negative power means 1 divided by. So let's look at some examples. Part A, 5 to the power of negative 1 means 1 divided by 5 to the power of positive 1. So that's just 1/5. 2 to the power of negative 3 means 1 over 2 to the power of positive 3. 2 to the power of positive 3 is 8, so that's 1 over 8. In part C, the base number is 3 in both cases. So when the base number is the same and we're multiplying, we add the powers. So it's -2 add -1. Adding a negative is subtracting the positive, so that's -2 subtract 1. And that's -3. And that power of -3 means 1 divided by 3 to the power of positive 3, which is 1 over 27. And in part D, the base number in each case is 4. We're dividing, so we subtract the powers. So it's -3 subtract -1. Subtracting a negative is adding the positive. So that's -3 plus 1, and that's -2. And -2 as a power means 1 divided by 4 squared, and that's 1/16. When we have a fraction to a negative power, the instruction is turn the fraction upside down and make the power positive. So let's turn the fraction upside down and make the power positive. In part A, that would become 2/1 to the power of 1, which is just 2. In part B, turn the fraction upside down, so that becomes 3/2 to the power of 1, so that's just 3/2. In part C, turn the fraction upside down, that's 3/1, and make the power positive, which is to the power of 2. 3/1 is just 3, squared is 9. And finally, in part D, turn the fraction upside down and make the power positive, gives us that. To square a fraction, we square the top number and we square the denominator. So it's 4 squared divided by 3 squared, and that will be 16/9. So there is a summary of our power rules. We just need to take a screenshot, learn that box. It's really important. Everything you need to know about powers is in that box. Very important box. So let's put everything together in a recap on negative powers. Anything to the power of 0 equals 1. A negative power does not mean the value will be negative. A to a negative power is equal to 1 divided by a to the positive power. That yellow box is really important. So 2 to the -3 is 1/2 to the positive 3, which is 1/8. 3 to the -2 is 1/3 to the positive 2, which is 1/9. And if you have a fraction raised to a negative power, you turn the fraction upside down and make the power positive. For example, 3/4 to the power of -2, turn the fraction upside down and make the power positive. And to square 4/3, you square 4, you square 3, and that gives you 16/9. And if there's anything about the video you haven't understood, just watch it back. And if you have, that's great, because that's the job done.